Saad wasn't your average teenager. Sure, he liked video games and hanging out with his friends, but Saad had a secret. He possessed the incredible ability to manipulate technology with his mind. He called it his tech touch. With a mere thought, he could reprogram circuits, hack into any system, and even control machines. It was a gift, but also a responsibility. Saad knew he had to use his powers to protect his city, Los Santos, from those who wished to harm it. Saad was a natural leader. He was brave, and always put others before himself. His friends admired his quick thinking and ability to strategize under pressure. They knew that with Saad at the helm, they could face any challenge, and they would need all their courage and skill. For a new threat loomed over Los Santos, a villain who called himself Dinosaur. One cool evening, Saad received a cryptic message on his custom-built communicator. It showed a map of the city with a red skull flashing ominously over the harbor. This was Dinosaur's calling card. He was planning something big, something that sent a shiver down Saad's spine. He knew he had to assemble his team, the Guardians of Los Santos. The city's fate depended on it. First on Saad's contact list was Alex, the team's strategist. Alex had a knack for planning and could spot a weakness in any enemy's defense. He was also a skilled martial artist, able to disarm opponents with lightning-fast moves. Alex's calm demeanor and sharp intellect made him the perfect second-in-command. Next was Mia, the resident tech genius. If Saad was the conductor of technology, Mia was the composer. She designed and built all sorts of futuristic gadgets for the team. From cloaking devices to sonic weapons, Mia had a tool for every occasion. Her cheerful personality and quirky sense of humor always kept the team's spirits high. Then there was Jake, the gentle giant with superhuman strength. Jake was the muscle of the team, able to lift cars and smash through walls with ease. But beneath his imposing physique beat a heart of gold. He was always the first to volunteer for a dangerous mission and would do anything to protect his friends and city. Last but definitely not least was Lily, the speedster. Lily could move faster than the eye could see, zipping around enemies and disorienting them before they even knew what hit them. She was a whirlwind of energy, always eager for action. Her infectious laughter and carefree spirit were a welcome addition to the team. Los Santos, a sprawling metropolis on the Californian coast, was known for its sunny beaches, bustling streets, and iconic skyline. But beneath its vibrant facade, a darkness was growing. Dinosaur, a mysterious figure clad in high-tech armor, sought to control the city's infrastructure and bend it to his will. Dinosaur had emerged from the shadows just a few months ago. He possessed advanced technology that rivaled even Saad's abilities. His motives remained a mystery, but his actions spoke volumes. He had already hacked into the city's power grid, causing blackouts across Los Santos. He had disrupted traffic flow with his army of drones. He had even attempted to seize control of the city's water supply. Each attack had been thwarted by the Guardians, but barely. Dinosaur was always one step ahead, using his cunning and ruthlessness to keep them on the back foot. Saad knew they needed to uncover his plan and stop him before he could plunge Los Santos into chaos.
What do you think he's after this time?
I'm picking up unusual energy readings from that cargo ship over there. It's emitting some kind of electromagnetic pulse.
An EMP? Saad frowned. That could disable every electronic device in a 5-mile radius, including ours. Before Saad could finish his thought, the freighter's lights flickered and died. A wave of energy surged outward, knocking out streetlights, car engines, and even cell phones. The waterfront was plunged into darkness.
He's causing a citywide blackout.
This is just a distraction, Saad realized. He's after something else.
Jake, see if you can find a way onto that ship.
Saad commanded, his voice steady despite the chaos erupting around them.
Lily, you're with me. We need to take out those EMP generators before they fry all our tech.
Jake, with his incredible strength, ripped a metal railing off the pier and used it as a makeshift battering ram to break through the freighter's side entrance. He disappeared into the bowels of the ship, his heavy footsteps echoing through the steel corridors. Meanwhile, Saad and Lily, their movements a blur in the darkness, raced towards the source of the EMP bursts. They weaved through panicked crowds and leapt over overturned cars, their senses on high alert.
There!
Lily pointed to a series of large, humming generators on the ship's deck. They were heavily guarded by Dinosaur's robotic henchmen, sleek and menacing figures armed with laser weapons. Saad focused his mind, his tech touch humming with power. He reprogrammed the robots' targeting systems, turning their weapons against each other. Laser beams crisscrossed the deck as metal clashed against metal. Lily, a whirlwind of motion, zipped around the confused robots, delivering swift kicks and punches that sent them crashing into each other. Her speed and agility were unmatched, a blur of color against the dark backdrop of the night. Deep inside the freighter, Jake followed the hum of machinery to a massive vault door. It was heavily reinforced, but Jake was stronger than any metal. With a mighty roar, he ripped the door off its hinges, tossing it aside like a discarded toy. Inside, he found what Dinosaur had been after. A crate containing a glowing orb pulsing with unknown energy. It emitted a low, ominous hum that sent shivers down his spine. This was bad news.
Found it, but it's heavily guarded.
As if on cue, a squad of Dinosaur's robots swarmed into the vault, their laser weapons trained on Jake. He fought back bravely, his fists connecting with metallic clangs. But they were relentless, their numbers seemingly endless. Meanwhile, on the deck, Sard and Lily had disabled the EMP generators. The lights flickered back on, revealing the extent of the chaos. But there was no time to celebrate. They had to get to Jake.
He's in trouble.
Sard's voice was grim.
Lily, get us to that vault, now!
Lily scooped up Sard, her speed enhanced by the adrenaline coursing through her veins. They shot through the ship's corridors, a blur of color against the steel walls. They found Jake holding his own, but barely. The robots were closing in, their laser fire becoming more intense. Sard acted quickly, using his tech touch to overload their circuitry one by one. Sparks flew as the robots collapsed, deactivated.
Thanks for the assist. This thing is giving me the creeps.
He held up the glowing orb, its energy pulsing ominously.
It's some kind of power source, but I'm picking up readings I've never seen before. It's like nothing on Earth.
Dinosaur wouldn't risk so much for just a battery. This has to be connected to his master plan.
They gathered on the freighter's deck, catching their breath and strategizing their next move. The city lights twinkled in the distance, a stark reminder of what was at stake. They had won this round, but the battle was far from over. Dinosaur was still out there, lurking in the shadows, waiting for his next opportunity to strike. The trail of the stolen orb led them to an abandoned power plant on the outskirts of Los Santos. It was the perfect lair for a villain like Dinosaur, isolated, heavily fortified, and radiating an aura of forgotten danger.
This is it. This is where we end this.
The Guardians, armed and ready, infiltrated the power plant, their every sense on high alert. The air was thick with the smell of ozone, and the eerie silence was broken only by the distant hum of machinery. They found Dinosaur in the plant's control room, a cavernous space filled with banks of monitors and flickering lights. He stood before a massive machine, its metal claws crackling with energy. The stolen orb was slotted into its core, pulsing ominously.
So the Guardians have come to play. How predictable.
Sard declared, his voice echoing through the chamber.
Dinosaur, your reign of terror ends now. You're outnumbered and outmatched. Surrender while you still can.
Dinosaur laughed, a chilling sound that echoed through the control room.
Outmatched? You have no idea what you're dealing with. This city will be mine, and with the power of this orb, I will reshape Los Santos in my own image.
The battle raged. Jake charged forward, his strength amplified by his determination. He slammed into Dinosaur, the impact shaking the entire power plant. Lily zipped around the room, a blur of motion as she disarmed Dinosaur's robotic guards. Alex, cool and collected, used his martial arts skills to deflect energy blasts and deliver precise counterattacks. Sard focused his mind, his tech touch pushing its limits. He hacked into the power plant systems, turning Dinosaur's own weapons against him. Security cameras became his eyes, drones his weapons. He even managed to overload the control panel for the massive machine, causing it to sputter and spark. But Dinosaur was powerful, his armor protecting him from most of their attacks. He fought back with ruthless efficiency, his energy blasts forcing the Guardians to scatter. The stolen orb pulsed with energy, amplifying his powers.
We need to separate him from that orb. It's the source of his power.
Thinking fast, Mia threw a small spherical device at Dinosaur's feet. It emitted a high-pitched frequency that disrupted the energy flow from the orb to his armor. Dinosaur staggered, his movements becoming sluggish. This was their chance. Sa'ad, pushing his tech touch to its absolute limit, created an energy net that ensnared Dinosaur, pinning him against the control panel. The orb, deprived of its connection to the machine, dimmed and fell silent. With Dinosaur subdued and the orb deactivated, the power plant fell silent. The threat to Los Santos had been neutralized, at least for now. The Guardians, bruised but unbroken, gathered around their fallen foe, their faces illuminated by the flickering lights of the control room. The battle was over, but the war for Los Santos was far from finished. As long as there were those who sought to exploit and control, the Guardians would be there to stand against them, their courage and friendship their greatest weapons. They had saved their city once again, proving that even in the darkest of times, hope and heroism could prevail.